Hello, glorious family. How are you? I hope you're doing great. You're welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm welcoming you with a warm hug. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gloria Kelechi, welcoming you from the city of Port Harcourt to my channel. You're so welcome. I'm so glad to have you here with me. I see all of you, my new subscribers. I see you. I welcome you. You're so welcome. Feel at home, feel relaxed here in this channel. You're going to enjoy every bit of this journey with me. So today in this video, I just want to take my time and talk about some lessons, personal lessons that I learned from the wedding of the celebrity, the gospel singer, the music minister, Mercy Chinwo. As we all know, her wedding broke the internet. It has been trending for over a week or more than 2 weeks now. It's been all about Mercy Chinwo's white wedding, traditional marriage, and all of that. In all of these things, there are lessons that I picked, that I learned, and I just felt that I should come on here. I just felt that it's right for me to share some of these lessons that I learned with you, my glorious family members. So one of the lessons I learned about is, number one, is modesty. I mean, fashion and modesty. I mean, there is this lie that has been sold to us over the years that unless you show a certain part of your body, or unless there are some sensitive areas like cleavage or thighs that you show when you dress, that you're not beautiful, or that you're not going to attract much attention to yourself. But we've seen it that from the wedding ceremony of the music minister Mercy Chinwo, that in all of her outfits, I mean in all, not even in one, not in two or in some, in all of her outfits, even starting from her pre-wedding pictures, you see that she was decently and modestly dressed. And even in that, she broke the internet. I mean, the internet was like it went on fire because of her. And she wasn't in any of those pictures. She wasn't even half naked. There was no cleavage showing. There was no thigh showing. There was no sensitive part of her body to show. She was just elegantly dressed. So this goes a long way to tell me that this lie that the enemy, the devil, has sold to us, that unless you show a certain part of your body, then you're not beautiful, or that you're not doing enough, or that you won't attract attention to yourself, is a lie. Is a very big lie. I mean, Mercy dressed in a very decent way, covering every sensitive part of her body, and she was still so beautiful. The internet was on fire because of her. So we can tell our daughters, can teach the younger generation that you don't need to go naked. You don't need to show sensitive parts to feel approved, to feel beautiful, to feel like you belong to the society. No, you can be modestly dressed and still make a lot of relevance and still make a lot of impact. In fact, modesty is elegance. Another thing I learned from her wedding, the dressing part, and I'm talking about the fashion, is that I noticed that, number two, I noticed that everybody who came for that wedding was decently dressed, and I didn't see any sort of indecency like we usually see in other weddings, like too much of cleavage, too much of tie showing, like slits running to nearly showing the underwear. I didn't see any of that from all the pictures that flooded social media. I didn't see any of that. I saw that people who attended that wedding, people who were invited to that wedding, everybody dressed decently. So what does it tell me? It tells me that I believe that maybe in the dress code was like dress decently. So I think that is part of the dress code. So that tells me that you are in charge of yourself, or you are in charge of whatever thing you're doing. You decide it. You set the standard for people to follow. You don't necessarily need to follow the crowd. Or you tell people, okay, I'm in charge here, and I set the standard for you to follow. And that's a very powerful lesson. Even life in generally, you don't need to keep turning here, looking for who to approve you. So long as you know that within yourself what you're doing is right, just follow through with it. And you see that people will even be attracted to you because you stood for what you believe was right. They set a standard for their wedding. I'm not very sure of this, but I'm just saying, I'm discerning it, that from what I saw, I believe that part of the dress code was decent, dress decently. And so because they set that standard, every guest that was coming to that wedding knew that they had to obey, they had to abide by that rule. So they had to what, dress decently. Even though you, even people who are not comfortable dressing decent, there are people who came for that wedding that on normally they would have, ripped their dress and all of that, ties and everywhere showing. But because of that particular this particular wedding, and because of the rule, so to say, they had to dress decently. So this also comes handy in life. You decide for yourself, you choose for yourself. People shouldn't choose for you. And don't wait for people's approval. Do that thing that you know is right and run with it. And before you know it, people will also be what, attracted to you. Another thing I learned from her wedding is the smile all over her face. She was just happy all the videos I saw. She was so happy, and even the one she was crying, maybe because of her mom was praying for her and all that, tears of joy. But you see the joy running through her. It tells us that, does it mean that there were not some hiccups on that day, or does it mean that some things in everything went as she wanted to go? I'm sure she would have received some news that, oh, this thing is not going as planned, but she chose to be happy because it was her day. She chose happiness over sadness, and it was radiating all over her. I was on social media the other time on Watercolor Specials, where her picture, a clip of her dancing on her traditional marriage day, and a man made a comment like, "You're doing too much." And people came for him, I'm sure, trust people. And people were like, how can she be doing too much on her own day? So you need to be happy for yourself. You don't need to wait for people to like tell you to be happy. Your happiness is in your hands. You can either choose to be happy or not be happy. So happiness is a decision that you make. Choose and decide to be happy, and then don't ever mind what people will say, because whatever you do, people will talk. So you decide the one that you feel good with. You decide the one that pleases your heart, and you run with it. One lesson I learned from everything is that God makes all things beautiful in His time. I mean, when God says this is your time, it is your time, and everything will work beautifully for you. When you're serving the Lord, God has you in mind. God has a special reward for those that trust in Him, for those that love Him, for those that put their trust in Him. I want to make it clear here that there is no one person who serves God that God does not have his interest at heart, his or her interest at heart. So serving God has a beautiful reward. You may be hearing me right now. You may be hearing the sound of my voice right now. This what I'm saying right now, and you may feel discouraged. You may be like, oh, I've been serving God for a long time, I've not had my reward. I've been serving God diligently with all of my heart, with my resources, with my finances, everything that He has blessed me with. I've been serving back, I've been serving Him, I've been giving back to God in my own way, in my own capacity. I've been serving Him, but the things that I want God to do for me, He has not done it for me. Why is it so? You keep asking yourself questions upon questions upon questions. Now, I do not have answers to any of those questions, but what I know is this. What I've come to understand is that God is a rewarder. He does not forget. He is not man. He does not forget any good thing you do in His name. So God rewards. And so whatever it is that you're expecting of the Lord, so long as you keep trusting in Him, believe it. Best believe that God is going to meet you at the point of your need. And God has a perfect timing for everything. God knows when best to bless you. God knows how best to bless you. God rewards. No matter how long it takes, just know that God is a rewarder of person. And it pays to serve the Lord. You don't need to go nude. You don't need to go half naked to break the internet. We have seen it. Now we can teach our younger girls, we can teach our younger ones that there is dignity in decency. I want to truly appreciate you for being with me. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to this channel. Thank you for your presence here. Everyone who came here because of the sewing videos, thank you. I love you. God bless you and grant your heart desires. I pray that you remain rooted on the channel. We're going to have a swell time together. Until I see you next time, I remain your friend and sister Gloria Kelechi on the Glorious and Winning side. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel so we move the channel to a greater height. Okay, God bless you. I love you. Bye.